Hello and welcome to Byju's Exam Prep IAS. I welcome you all to a daily quiz video for today. Before we begin analyzing the newspaper and taking out the most important facts and questions, a very important announcement. 12th of February, you have a great chance to win up to 90% scholarship on the Byju's IAS courses. You can get this based on your performance in the National Scholarship Test of Byju's Exam Prep IAS. This is an online test that will happen at 11 a.m. on the 12th of February. You can register for this test free of cost by using the link given in the description of the video. The deadline for registration is 6 a.m. on the 12th of February. Make sure you register for the test right away. Let's begin with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding RBI's monetary policy. Number 1. As a general rule, when RBI is more concerned about containing inflation, it raises the interest rates, and when it wants to stimulate growth, it brings down the interest rates. Second, due to the hike in repo rate, EMIs on vehicles, home, and personal loans will also rise. Third, decisions in the Monetary Policy Committee are taken on the basis of consensus. How many of these given statements are wrong? The correct answer here would be only one of these is wrong, which is the third statement. Now, Monetary Policy Committee is actually a six-member committee. It has three members from the side of the RBI, including the RBI governor, and other three members from the side of the government of India. These six people together would take the decision. This is based on a majority basis. If there's a decision on which there's a 3-3 equal voting, then in that case, the casting vote, that is, the vote to decide and break the tie, is given to the RBI governor. The reason being that the RBI governor is the chairman of this monetary policy committee. The other two statements are correct. As you know, RBI has been increasing the repo rate for the past few months. The reason being the high inflation in the country right now. RBI believes that if it cuts down the money supply in the market, if it makes it difficult for people to get easy money, people will spend lesser money, and then as a result, the inflation will also come down. People who have already taken loans on floating rate of interest, they would have to pay a higher EMI on their loans. There are in fact multiple articles in the newspapers today in Hindu and the Indian Express about RBI's monetary policy. As you know, the monetary policy of the RBI is aimed to bring inflation under check. The target that RBI has set is 4% plus minus 2%. So inflation should be in the range of 2 to 6% for the RBI's policy to be considered as successful. In this decision also, there was a 4-2 majority. Two people from the side of the government actually did not approve this. They did not want the repo rate to increase. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to government's e-marketplace platform, also called as the GEM. Number 1. The GEM is a one-stop national public procurement portal to facilitate online procurement of common use goods and services required by various central and state government departments, organizations or PSUs. Second, it provides fixed prices to the government organizations, helping them plan their budgets better. Third, it works under Ministry of Cooperatives. Which of these given statements is or are correct? Now, it's an interesting question. The first is correct. So basically, the central government, the state government organizations can buy goods that they require mainly from this platform. The government of India, in fact, is also planning to bring in a lot of cooperatives into this platform to give them a boost. A lot of MSMEs can also come here and try and sell their products. Second is wrong. There are no fixed prices. In fact, the government follows a process of auction and reverse auction as well. So the government agencies, the PSUs, etc., they in fact auction, they tell the seller how much are we willing to pay. This also brings in a very interesting kind of a price finding mechanism where certain departments can actually claim to pay higher money. Third is also wrong. It actually works under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So not under the Ministry of Cooperatives, but under Commerce and Industry Ministry. And that is why the correct answer would be only one statement is correct. Two statements are wrong. So the answer here would be B. Second and third are wrong. The reason why we're discussing this is because public procurement on this portal has crossed 2 lakh crore rupees in FY23, which is a signal that the government's plan to actually give a boost to a lot of small scale manufacturers through this portal has been a success. Next, question number 3. Alderman is a term that usually refers to Nominated members of the municipal body, nominated members of the parliament, the pro tem speaker of the Lok Sabha, or the pro tem speaker of the state legislative assemblies. The correct answer here is A. As you know, the municipality, depending upon different states, can have certain nominated members as well from people who have special knowledge and experience in municipal administration. They may also be the local MPs or MLAs. It depends on state to state. The reason why this is in the news is because in Delhi, the municipal elections have happened long time back, but for some reason the mayor elections are just not going ahead because there is still a question mark over whether these nominated members, the aldermen, can vote or not. So what has happened is the presiding officer, who is a pro tem speaker right now in the municipality, he has nominated certain members, all of them from the BJP. Aam Aadmi Party obviously does not want them to have the right to vote to choose the mayor, while the BJP would want that, and the matter has now gone to the Supreme Court as well. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to Aligarh Muslim University. Number 1. It grew out of the work of Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the Aligarh movement. Second, it was founded as the Madrasatul Uloom in 1875 in Aligarh and evolved into Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. Third, post-independence, the college was transformed into the Aligarh Muslim University. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The AMU, as you know, is a very, very famous university where people all across the country go and study. The correct answer to this question would be C. Only the second statement is correct. The first and the third statements are wrong. As you know, this is not the work of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Rather, this is the work of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who has been a well-known reformer of the Indian national movement. He has been the one credited with trying to bring the Muslim community into the mainstream education as well. Third statement also is wrong because it was nearby 1920 that AMU came into being and was transformed from its earlier avatar of Anglo-Oriental College. The reason why we're discussing this question is because of this particular article in the Indian Express today that talks about the history of the AMU and how exactly it has been given a lot of facelifts after time and time again. Recently, as you know, a few years back, 100th year anniversary was also celebrated of the AMU, where a new postage stamp was released by the government of India. Next is a previous year question from 2020. Which one of the following protected areas is well known for the conservation of a subspecies of Indian swarm deer or Barasinga that thrives well in hard ground and is exclusively graminivorous? Kanha National Park, the Manas National Park, the Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuary, or the Tal Chhappar Wildlife Sanctuary. The correct answer is A. Now, this was not an easy question to answer. This is in fact a prime example of how current affairs questions are important but can be difficult. Let me tell you why this question was asked. So this was actually in the news on a couple of occasions. As you can see, this was in the news in the Hindu newspaper. Kanha National Park reopens for tourists. Then in March 2020, again the same year when the question was asked, Down to Earth carried this article which said, near extinct hard ground swarm deer see revival in Kanha. Now the interesting part is see the question. This in fact tells you that this was exactly taken from the headline in Down to Earth. See, hard ground deer. The same thing is being asked here. That is, the near extinct hard ground swarm deer sees a revival in Kanha. So again, a clear indication of how these magazines and websites are extremely, extremely important for the UPSC prelims examination more specifically. Next, we want to discuss a fact of the day, and yesterday we had a very, very interesting session in the parliament where we saw speeches from multiple people as a part of the motion of thanks. We saw how Rahul Gandhi delivered a long speech where he talked about a lot of things, trying to criticize the government. Although we are not really interested in what he spoke, we are more interested in the concept of expunsion. Now, what exactly is this? See, whoever speaks in the parliament, all these things become an official record of the parliament. It becomes the archive. So, for example, someone after 50 years wants to go back and see what was spoken in the parliament today on this day, he or she can refer to the official records of the parliament. However, the Lok Sabha presiding officer can decide whether certain parts of the speech should be expunged or removed from the records of the parliament. This order has to be given by the speaker. Now, expunsion or removal of certain words or sentences, very routine kind of a procedure. Whenever there is something that goes against the parliamentary convention, that goes against the parliamentary image, you would see the presiding officer taking such a decision. Under Article 105 of the Constitution, it says, no member of parliament shall be liable to any proceedings in any court, irrespective of what the person says in the parliament. So the MPs do enjoy their freedom of speech, as you know, within the parliament premises. However, if there are certain unparliamentary words that are used, they can be expunged. Rule 380 and 381 talks about this. Rule 80 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha says, if the speaker is of the opinion that words have been used in debate which are defamatory or indecent or unparliamentary or undignified, the speaker may, while exercising the discretion, order such words to be expunged from the proceedings of the House. Now, what will be unparliamentary words, what will not be unparliamentary words, that is also a matter of big debate. The Lok Sabha Secretariat, in fact, has brought out a big compilation of unparliamentary expressions that should not be used in the parliament. The opposition members, in fact, criticize that also, but that is what has been happening. Now, there's a long history of many words being expunged from the records of the parliament. For example, the word Godse was expunged in 1958 after a member equated Prime Minister Nehru to Nathuram Godse. Again in 1962, another member equated Godse to Swami Vivekanand. These are some of the examples of how these kind of words have been expunged. This is it for today's daily quiz video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day ahead.